One of the medical revolutions that we've seen in the last few years is using GLP-1 medications for weight loss, glucagon-like peptide-1 agonists. It's a drug originally designed for type 2 diabetics. It does a couple things. It revives the way insulin is excreted from the body, and in a roundabout way, that delays gastric emptying. One of the side effects of these GLP-1 drugs was weight loss. About a 2.7 kilogram weight loss when compared to a placebo. And over the last few years, we're starting to see these medications used specifically for weight loss. That has been somewhat of a problem in the industry, in my opinion. We've created drug shortages for the diabetics that need these for their disease. The drug shortage has allowed pharmacies to compound these injectable drugs. FDA has a little bit of angst about that. Some of the drug companies producing these drugs are not real thrilled. There's some lawsuits going on right now. They believe some of their patents have been infringed on. The type of peptide that were being used by compounders is somewhat controversial. We as a compounding lab made the decision a few years back to kind of steer clear of that. But we feel like we're missing out on being able to help people as well. There are 1 billion people in the world right now that their body mass index is greater than 30, which puts them in an obesity category. It's a big problem in the United States. So we're hoping that we have figured out how to deliver these drugs without using a needle, without injectable. It's taken a while. It's brand new, and that's what I'm introducing today. So GLP-1s, again, were typically given once a week by injection. Sometimes that dose was increased if the weight loss wasn't happening. This is all a risk to benefit profile, is the benefits you get from it. And the weight that you carry is part of the disease that you're battling, mostly from the obesity standpoint, whether it's cardiovascular, blood pressure, cholesterol. Some of the statistics we're seeing is these medications actually improve those numbers. There's some research being done that show that using these medications may improve things like addiction and alcoholism, modifies your behavior. But again, it's all risk to benefit in my opinion. I think a lot of these GLP-1s are being supplied to the public through alternative. They're not coming through pharmacies. We're seeing them through spas. I listened to a podcast the other night. The physician was so concerned in the community that he was in the southern part of the states that a hairdresser was dispensing it to patients. So it's kind of the wild, wild west. Professional Compounding Centers of America is PCCA. They've been working diligently over the last year to develop a delivery system that's different than what we're doing now. They have developed a product called Submagna, HMW. HMW stands for high molecular weight. The peptides, semaglutide in particular, is what we call a chubby molecule. It's really hard to deliver through the skin, through the mucosal lining. It's horribly unbioavailable when it's taken as a tablet. Less than 1% of the drug is absorbed. But again, the work that they've done, they've shown through diffusion studies that they're able to deliver these peptides through the tissues in the mouth. We are talking about a sublingual delivery system, making it in a certain milligram per milliliter dose. We will be dispensing it in containers such as this with a dosing syringe, and the dose can be as small as 0.1 milliliter, a quarter of a milliliter, maybe up to a half a milliliter. That's all going to be patient specific. We're recommending that we start low and go slow. Some of the problems that we've seen with the delay in gastric emptying, we've seen some reports of gastroparesis where patients have paralyzed their gastric system, and almost everybody gets nauseated from the injectable. And nausea is typically the sign that something's not right. So if we're slowing the gastric emptying, we can stimulate some nausea. Our theory and the theory of my pharmacist colleagues and the consultants at the Professional Compounding Centers of America is to use an alternate dosing form, figuring out how many times a week it would take to stimulate gradual weight loss, but also be diligent about lifestyle changes. I found a document that it lists the types of foods and things that people using these drugs should not use. Processed meats, white breads and pastas, sugary drinks, processed foods, alcohol, high-fat foods. And the theory is it really defeats the purpose. Well, what's the purpose? The purpose is to stimulate a way to lose weight and change your lifestyle. I think it's critical that we know what our BMI is, our body mass index. There's formulas for that. Where's your number? And you need to maintain that. The BMI needs to improve, because if you're losing weight and you're losing it too rapidly, you're probably losing muscle first. So if you lose muscle and then something happens where the drug is no longer an option for you, you're gonna gain fat back unless you have not improved your lifestyle. So diet, exercise, knowing your fasting blood sugars, knowing your A1C, and critically your BMI. These are all markers that people need to understand and watch as they progress. And my hope is that we see gradual weight loss, because that's much, much more healthy. So as you lose weight and you embark on lifestyle changes, it takes a very much smaller dose of these GLP-1s to maintain that weight loss, and that's a good thing. So give us a call. This is all new. We've gotten a couple prescriptions just this week, so we are going to be compounding it. We will work with your practitioner on the information that we've gathered from a few pharmacies that are already doing this, and we want to be your partner on this journey. So give us a call, Dakota PrecisionRx Labs, myself, or Joe, who's our pharmacist in charge.